Good morning, Messiah. Welcome to your Wednesday devotion. This is going to be our last morning devotion until Tuesday, September 1st. We're going to take the month of July and August off, both Messiah staff and friends. We're going to be coming up with a new schedule starting September 1st, so we'll have an exciting mixture of staff persons doing devotions and friends doing devotions, and so really looking forward to a little bit of a break, but then also getting back in as we begin our program year back up in September. I want to say thank you to everybody who has done devotions. We began these morning devotions immediately when the pandemic started and we all went into phase 1 lockdown, and they've been a great part of our life these past months since mid-March. And I've looked back at a number of them and really just feel so deeply thankful and grateful for everyone who shared their gifts and their time and their talents. So thank you to everyone who has done that. Like I said, we'll start back on September 1st. That Tuesday we'll get out with our first devotional of the new program year. I want to also say that as we have made this shift to being primarily an online congregation, there has, in the midst of that shift, been, I think, an extremely positive and grace-filled spirit moving among us who are members or friends or neighbors of Messiah. So many folks have reached out with words of thanks, words of encouragement, not just for me or the rest of the staff, but for one another, that we really, in many ways, very profoundly have come together as a community over these past months. And I'm very gratified by that and want to say thank you for everyone who has stepped up and said, look, we can't be together physically, but we are Messiah, we are one in Christ, and we can be a community of faith, whether that's virtually or in person. So I want to say thank you to everyone for that. We have a lot of great programming coming up in the fall, and so we'll be sharing some of those ideas and thoughts about that as we get closer to September. We are going to finish the summer strong. We have our servant week, our service week, as well as VBS coming up, and that is just going to be some great programming for the summer, and then we'll take a little break and be back together in September. Again, I don't know how much physically we'll be together, how much will be online. We'll just have to see how these next weeks go. But it will be an opportunity, no matter how we gather, to be a community of faith with one another. Let me, for this final devotion, share with you the words of the psalmist. I make a few comments and bless you on your way. So here is the psalmist saying, "The Lord is gracious and merciful, slow to anger and abounding in steadfast love. The Lord is good to all, and the Lord's compassion is over all that the Lord has made. All your works shall give thanks to you, O Lord, and all your faithful shall bless you. They shall speak of the glory of your kingdom and tell of your power, to make known to all people your mighty deeds and the glorious splendor of your kingdom. Your kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and your dominion endures throughout all generations. The Lord is faithful in all the Lord's words, and gracious in all the Lord's deeds. The Lord upholds all who are falling, and raises up all who are bowed down." I want to again invite people as we enter in this time of summer and this little bit of sabbatical from daily devotions, to do so, I encourage, with an open heart, being ready to be remade each day by the Lord's amazing works. The psalmist says, all The Lord's words are faithful. All the Lord's deeds are gracious. There is an upholding of those who are following, a raising up of those who are bowed down. And to some degree, each and every one of us these past couple months have felt in our own unique way, or maybe common also in our society, that we've fallen down and that we've been bowed down or pressed down by weights too heavy to be overcome. That there is something about this pandemic and the experience of it that just is like a weight constantly, every day, minute by minute, hour and hour, pushing us down, toppling us over, and that no matter how we try to get away from it, you can't. It just keeps coming back, and it just keeps pressing on us. In the midst of that, the psalmist's words are so amazing to me. There's a faithfulness of the Lord who is upholding and raising and sort of being present as an totally faithful support and constant companion throughout all of this. And especially since we have not been able to be together physically, that sense that the Lord is that constant presence has, at least for me, been very comforting and very encouraging. The Lord is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and abounding in steadfast love. The Lord is good to all, and his compassion is over all that he has made. In Psalm 145, there is this sense that instead of some angry judge somewhere who is sort of watching us, waiting for us to mess up, ready to pounce upon us as we go astray or fall off the straight and narrow, that often people think of God as sort of that angry, sort of messed up parental figure who's always out to get us. Or Psalm 145, the psalmist here is so coming from a different place, and the biblical image of God here as one who is gracious to the core, merciful to the core, abounding in steadfast love, that snap anger that we sometimes associate with God is not present. It's not part of who God is. And in fact, the words here, the Lord is good to all, and the Lord's compassion is over all that the Lord has made. What words of grace for our final devotion here before we take our little summer hiatus, our summer break. The sense of goodness and compassion over everything. This isn't to a select group. This isn't to an in-group versus the out-group whom the Lord is mad at. No, the Lord is good to all, and his compassion is over all that he has made. That is an amazing statement of confidence in where God is coming from. And this is from a person of faith in our Judeo-Christian history, a person who's well marinated in the faith and the rituals and customs of our tradition, here in this psalm, who's saying, look, you want to get to the bedrock of who God really is? Think of these words: gracious, merciful, good, compassionate. This is who our God is, the one in whom we rejoice and have as a constant companion. I'd like you to hold on to those words as you now move into July and August. Hold on to them every day. Take them with you. Write them down. Put them in your purse or in your wallet. Gracious, merciful, abounding in love, compassionate. Write them down. Carry them with you. Remind yourself of that over these next couple months, because my hunch is there'll be some trying times ahead of us, and we'll be wondering, who is God in the midst of all this? And especially, who is God for me in the midst of all this? Well, the answer is gracious, merciful, abounding in steadfast love, and compassionate. I want to add to that, my word of love for everybody, my gratitude for everyone of the Messiah community, both near and far. I want you to take, if you can, a little bit of a breather this summer, decompress, and get a little time to, even for a few hours, stop thinking about the pandemic, put your feet up, and just bathe in that sense of God's grace and goodness. May it sustain you until we see each other again, and daily devotions starting September 1st. God bless you all. Love you all. Take care. Have a great rest of the summer. Bye now.